We protect, we care, we are your near and dear.
Everybody wants to live in peace and harmony, but we fail to achieve that for many reasons.
Come on, let's play together.
It can be seen how we can teach our children peace building and social cohesion within their community and relating others across different communities.
Good morning, teacher. Hello, good morning. How are the kids?
They are doing good.
Great to hear that. Now they need to build a culture of peace in their mind. Would you please explain? Sure. A culture of peace is a set of values, attitudes, traditions, and modes of behaviors and ways of life that rejects violence and prevent conflicts by tackling their root causes to solve problems through dialogues and negotiation among individuals, groups, and nations. What are elements of a culture of peace? The critical elements of a culture of peace include, among others, equality, love, safety, justice, respect, inclusion, freedom, acceptance, solidarity, and participation.
Look, Grandma, it's flying.
Bravo, you're getting it.
It can be helpful to use a tree metaphor to look more closely at the reason of having conflict or peace in any situation. The trunk of both grow from their roots, and we see the outcomes to each tree in its leaves. If the trunk has roots based on negative qualities such as inequality, distrust, hatred, lack of resources, and power over others, the leaves will be harmful and unhealthy. What if the trunk has the roots of positive qualities? Well, if the trunk has roots of equality, love, safety, justice, respect, inclusion, and cooperation, we will have healthy and happy leaves on our tree. The peace tree can be a great visualization tool for parents and caregivers to communicate with their children to understand better what a culture of peace means. A culture of peace does not mean one that is devoid of conflict and crisis. Conflict, violence, and the aftermath break down existing family and community structures and can leave women, girls, and boys especially vulnerable to exploitation.
How does it affect on our children?
It affects in many ways. Impacts of conflict and crisis on children include physical and mental health challenges, loss of self-esteem, confidence, forced labor, and lack of education and employment. It also breaks down social capital, causes reintegrating into society, even long after a conflict has ended. Can you specify some points? Yes, impact to girls include forced and early marriage, sexual and gender-based violence. This type of occurrences often affects a girl's health, access to education, and ability to reintegrate into her community due to shame and isolation. It also causes domestic abuse, making even the home an unsafe space for girls. And for boys, impact to boys includes exploitation and forced labor, being threatened to become spies and informants on their home community, placing them in danger from both sides, sexual and gender-based violence. These impacts can have lasting impacts on their personality, relationship capacity, and mental health at such a young age. Thank you for this valuable information. If we want to resolve conflict, our children must be well prepared to lead the peace-building process in their societies. For that, caregivers should create an environment where children can learn and grasp the message of social cohesion, tolerance, and peace.
Grandma, here is your apple.
Thanks, dear.
Caregivers should teach the children non-discrimination, to show love and respect towards others, not to mock anyone, and model these attitudes by practicing them in their own lives. Parents should encourage their child to talk about what makes them different and discuss ways that may have helped or hurt them at times. They should teach children empathy by demonstration.
How are you now, Grandma?
I'm feeling a bit better. Emily, come here.
For a culture of peace to be lasting, it needs to be inclusive of all members of society at all levels in peace-building processes. When some members of society are left out of these processes, the decisions made will continue to serve only those whose voices are heard, making others vulnerable to conflict and unrest. Young people can be essential champions for peace because they demonstrate openness to change, feedback, and learning, tend to be more future-oriented.
Here, we can share my tiffin. Thank you very much.
It's a very good practice, Emily, sharing our tiffin with our friends. Parents and caregivers must plant the seeds for peace-building initiatives in their children from an early age by setting positive examples of tolerance and acceptance of others. Another necessary root for a culture of peace is gender equality. When men and women both enjoy all human rights fully and without discrimination, they enjoy the same level of respect in the community.
Thank you, teacher. We shall follow your advice.